So, very good afternoon, everyone, and namaskar. On this auspicious occasion of Teachers' Day, we are organizing ABCD of Cancer. That's a Cancer Awareness Program, Cancer Jagrukta Program. On behalf of Amity Institute of Molecular Medicine and Stem Cell Research, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Noida, and with the blessings of Honorable Founder President Sir, Honorable Chancellor Sir, and Honorable Vice Chancellor Ma'am. On behalf of all Amity family, I welcome you all in this cancer awareness program. Today we have two great teachers, mentors, scientists who has given their life to the development of cancer drugs through the research and innovation. So today in this program, we have Dr. Selvamurthy sir and Dr. B.C. Das sir. Dr. Selvamurthy sir, he is a president of Amity Science and Innovation Foundation, STIF, and Chancellor of Amity University, Chhattisgarh. Earlier, sir has served in DRDO as a as a president of Life Science Unit in the DRDO. So, sir is here. So, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Dhruv.
And today we'll get the opportunity. We have this opportunity to listen from you, sir. And Professor B.C. Das, sir, he is a founder director of National Cancer Institute, which is in Noida. Also, he is a ex-director of Ambedkar Research Center, Delhi University. And presently, sir is a chairman of Amity Institute of Molecular Medicine and Stem Cell Research. Sir is a dean of Health and Allied Sciences. Sir has served for more than 45 years in health and allied sciences in the area of cancer. So before I introduce our today's speaker, Professor Dr. B.C. Das sir, I kindly request Dr. Selvamurthy sir to give introductory remarks on this auspicious occasion of Teachers' Day.
Thank you, Dr. Dhruv. So Dr. Das and all the participants who have joined us today, and Dr. Dhruv Kumar, who is comparing and coordinating this event. So on behalf of Founder President, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, the Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, Dr. Sim Chauhan, Vice Chancellors of Amity Group. So I greet each and every one of you who have joined us today on this occasion of the Teachers' Day. This is being celebrated to commemorate the respect which the teachers deserve. It started with the birthday of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who was our president and was a great teacher. So on this day, we remember him as one of the greatest teachers we had. India was blessed to have a number of teachers, gurus. It is a bhumi of gurus. All this Gurukulam, which we used to have, every child used to pass through. So this has a culture of disciple respecting Guru always. So the Teachers' Day is only to remind how important a teacher plays a pivotal role in the transformation of an individual as a good human being, a great leader, and also all that what one accomplishes, the teacher's signature is there. And the teacher, when you look at the pie chart, if you make the role of teacher, that is the maximum, more than even parents, for the success of the child. the parents, the teacher plays a very important role. 30%. 50% is on the individual. The success of an individual depends on 50% on that individual, 30% on the teacher, and the remaining all the environment, your relatives, parents, everything is 20%. So this is how they have scientifically proven that teachers have the biggest role among all other stakeholders for a student to succeed. So let me also take the opportunity to pay my salutations to my teachers, right from our own Honorable Founder President. We learn every day some new things I keep learning from him. How to be a successful leader, how to be a good human being with compassion, love, and also how to be the executive, how to be an achiever, how to be a successful entrepreneur. So all this, every day we learn from Dr. Ashok Chauhan, the founder president, who is a teacher, role model for each and every one of us. Then I also have been able to work with great teachers like Abdul Kalam, Dr. Raja Ramana, and V.S. Arunachalam, all those great leaders, great teachers. They taught me a lot how to be calm, composed, even in the challenging times, failures, how to face failures. So you learn many things from your teachers. But above all, I remember my primary school teachers who really made me the base, the foundation for my life for my personality was laid by those teachers in that village in Tamil Nadu where I studied. So this is the occasion to remember with gratitude your teachers and give the tributes and give the respects. And also, even if they're not here, let the soul be blessed. Let it be happy wherever the soul is. So this is an occasion for that. Then the other important thing is that how you become a teacher for others by your life. It is not that only if you are teaching in a classroom, you are a teacher, but in your life, everybody is, maybe even your child is your teacher. You might learn something from that child, because after all, soul, everything is soul. It has different shapes, different forms, different age, but everything is a soul. This is what I believe, Atma. So in that you have opportunity to learn and be a lifelong learner, and so that you become a student always. Even Goddess Saraswati says, what I know is very little. That's why Goddess Saraswati says, if that is so, we have to keep on learning. So be a lifelong learner, always have a teachers in your life, not just only in classroom, but also in your life. Dr. B.C. Das is a great teacher, as I have known him for decades, right from his ICPO and then ACBR. I have been able to meet him because I used to go even for some classes there. I used to take some classes in ACBR and my DRDO scientist. So I had the occasion. So he has been a great teacher. Teacher not only in the classroom, but his integrity, conviction, and also courage to speak what you feel is the right. So these are all the learning which I had from my teacher, Professor B.C. Das, who is going to deliver the talk today. And this great man, he worked with Nobel laureate for 10 years in Germany in cancer. So we all fondly call him father of HPV, human papilloma virus, which causes cancer cervix. He is the man who brought that whole concept here from Germany to India. And then if you look at his publications, he has the school of the cancer biology, which he has created here, molecular medicine, stem cell research, regenerative engineering, all health sector. He has given a new paradigm there. So that is why Amity is blessed to have such a great leader, and he will serve decades in Amity for the betterment of the society. And so as a teacher, I see him that he is a great teacher, and he is going to speak about a very important theme, the cancer, ABCD of cancer. This cancer is now the major killer today, not the cardiovascular diseases, cancer. And in cancer, particularly the HPV, breast cancer, all these are major killers. So he is going to create awareness. How do you detect very early? So that if you detect early, the prognosis, chances of prognosis is much higher. And also your quality of life is better. So how do we detect them early? How do you create that awareness even for self-detection? If it's a breast cancer or a cervical cancer cervix, that you can detect it at the early stage itself. So how do you identify? He's going to create awareness on self-identification of the disease at the early stage. The other important thing is, if you detect early, certainly the prognosis, the span of life, health span, everything will be better. So don't get worried if you get cancer that you are going to die. If you feel that, then that is going to increase the pace of progression towards death. But if you think that no, I will fight this disease, my body has got all the system, inherent immune system, other system to cope up with the disease and keep the mind strong, so that your psycho-neuro-immunological axis is very strong with the positive hormones, then your life will be better. So he is going to create that awareness. So this topic for the Teachers' Day he has chosen is very important. So like a student, I am going to listen to you, Professor Das, and also to listen to your dialogue and your message. Every time when I listen to you, I learn. Whenever I interact with you, I learn. So you have given me the opportunity to be a student learning from you. So on this Teachers' Day, I greet each and every one of you once again. So on behalf of Founder President Dr. Ashok Chauhan, the Chancellor Dr. Atul Chauhan, Dr. Asif Chauhan, and all members of AKC family and Amity family, I greet those who are here. I see some 40 people, but maybe more who may be listening in the other platforms, and even those who are not here. And our blessings to all of you. And as teacher, as one of the old teachers, that I see that everybody should be happy. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. That is why this particular theme has also been chosen, ABCD of cancer. And he is going to create that awareness, and best wishes. Dhruv, go ahead with that. Thank you, Dr. Das, for coming out with this, the right way to celebrate Teachers' Day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for your kind words, inspirational words. And on this occasion now, I take this privilege, and it's a great pleasure for me an honor to me to introduce today's speaker, Professor Dr. B.C. Das, sir. Dr. Das has spent his whole life to invent a therapeutic solution, preventive measures for cancer. He worked together with the Nobel laureate, as you can see here in this picture in the right panel on the top right corner. The Jur Hassan is a scientist who has received Nobel Prize in 2008. He's a German scientist. And Dr. B.C. Das, sir, he has worked almost for decades, and he has immensely contributed in the work on which Dr. Jur Hassan got Nobel Prize in 2008. And that's why, and when Dr. B.C. Das, sir, when he returned back to India, he started working on HPV, and he has immensely contributed in the area of human papilloma virus, which is a main causative factors for cervix cancer. So he is commonly known as father of HPV in India. Currently, Dr. B.C. Das, sir, is a chairman and H.G. Khorana chair professor at Amity Institute of Molecular Medicine and Stem Cell Research at Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Noida. He is also a Dean of Health and Allied Sciences. He is a chairman of University Research Council. He is a vice president of Amity Science, Technology and Innovation at Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Noida. So he is a founder director of National Institute of Cancer Prevention and Research, that is called NICPR of ICMR Institute, which is in Noida. After retiring from NICPR, he has joined as a Dr. Gurvaksh Singh Chair Professor and Director of ACBR, Ambedkar Center for Biomedical Research, University of Delhi. As I mentioned earlier, he has worked with the Nobel laureate, and he has immensely contributed in the area of human papillomavirus and cervix cancer. His work got published in a world-renowned journal of cancer, including Nature, Lancet, Nucleic Acid Research, Oncogenes, Journal of Virology, Hepatology, Molecular Medicine, Human Genetics, Cancer Research, Clinical Cancer Research, Nature Scientific Reports, and many more. He has also provided training, research training, to more than 80 MD, MS, DNB doctors who are serving in India as well as in abroad. They are the top medical doctors, the clinicians, the oncologists. Also, he has provided more than 40 PhDs, those who are contributing immensely in the area of cancer prevention and cancer therapeutics. Professor VC Das sir has received several national and international awards. He is a fellow members of all Indian academies, including National Academy of Sciences. He is also a fellow member of medical academies. He has received several awards, including the topmost award of given by ICMR to the medical scientist. That's a BC Roy National Award by Medical Council of India, including Bose National Fellow Award from DST, Department of Science and Technology, American Asian Scientist Award for Cancer Research. He has immensely contributed in the field of cancer, and his several research got helped people to find a therapeutic as well as preventive measures for the cancer. Specifically, he has developed a medicine now which is under clinical trial that we call triple conjugate: curcumin, folate, and cancer drug. These are the combination of 3 components that can be used for cancer treatment. He has immensely contributed in policy development. The government that implements policies time to time related to cancer, for cancer prevention, for cancer detection, for cancer therapeutics. He has immensely contributed in policy development of Government of India. Related to cervix cancer, for the vaccine development, he has hugely promoted to the people should get the vaccine for HPV. And now we see the effect of that vaccination. The cervix cancer is going down. So there are several other things that we can, if we talk about Dr. VC Das sir, it may take hours and hours. With this, a small introduction, a short introduction, now I kindly invite our teacher, our mentor, our guru, the motivator, the great scientist, not only in India, but world-renowned scientist on cancer research, specifically on HPV, to enlighten us with his ideas, with his lectures and the thoughts. So sir, आपका स्वागत है इस कैंसर अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम में.
Dr. Dhruv, I have also, since he has worked with Nobel laureate for more than 10 years, so we are expecting a Nobel laureate from Das himself. This message I want to give it on this day, No, he has all the potential to be a Nobel laureate himself. I'm sure he still has years to achieve that.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you for such a blessings and wish on the day of special day of Teachers' Day. So I thank Dr. Dhruv for a kind introduction, and of course Dr. Selvamurthy for these kind words that he has used. He has told me as a teacher, but he is himself also teacher for me. And after joining MIT, I have learned a lot, and I seek the blessings of our founder president, chancellor and vice chancellor. But I have learned a lot from our real guru at this age is Honorable Founder President sir. So we learn every day a lot things which I have not learned throughout my career, but I learned something different, and that's why what Dr. Selvamurthy mentioned, learning has no time and age and all. We can learn from students. We learn from even a simple persons. So, and it is his guru or teacher or educator, from him you learn something. Even a simple word or simple knowledge, what you gather is a learning. And you can call him as educator or a teacher or what, and they are respectable. And that is why I wish everybody the Happy Teachers' Day. And it is celebrated, as already mentioned, that it is the 5th day of the September, which is the birth anniversary or the birthday of our president, second president, but he was the first vice president of India, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, and it is celebrated to show the honor and respect and gratitude to all the educators. So what I mentioned, that it can be anybody. So in a formal school or a college or a university or elsewhere, who teaches you, you learn something, and they are all respectable. And it is a great thing that Dr. Radhakrishnan had created, because all his colleagues, once he went to his place, his office, and told that we want to celebrate your birthday, and he told, don't celebrate my birthday, but this day you can show your respect and gratitude to your teachers. That will be a great honor to me. And that's how it started. And whole country observed this day as a Teachers' Day. And he was a great teacher himself, and scholar and philosopher par excellence. And he was posthumously given the Bharat Ratna Award also. And on this Teachers' Day is celebrated to recognize the contributions of the teachers or the educators to the society or the humanity. And I remember and I give my respect to all my teachers, starting from my primary school to the colleges, to the university, and to this time also when I am somewhere as a scientist or a director, and I have learned from my colleagues, learned from anybody, and I respect them, and I submit them my respect and gratitude to all of them. So once again, I convey the Happy Teachers' Day to everybody. And on this special occasion, it is, I think, one of my colleagues, Dr. Dhruv, he only just, that's why I have not much preparations, but I would rather speak extempore way and to make it as simple as possible. Maybe I will use Hindi words also to, if there is other people are here. So Dr. Dhruv only suggested just 2 days before that you can speak on this day on the just a awareness for the cancer. Many people, they do not know the basics of the cancers. So this can be a great contributions on the Teachers' Day for the society and the humanity, because we invited a great clinician, Professor Tandon. I am forgetting the first.
He is a neurosurgeon.
He's a neurosurgeon from AIIMS. We invited him to meet, but he must not be his 90 years above. I do not know. We could not get his response, so he may not be keeping well. But God bless him for his good health and all. So that's the time when Dr. Dhruv proposed that I can speak on that. So I agreed for that. So this on this auspicious occasion of this Teachers' Day, I have been asked to talk about cancer awareness, the ABCD of cancer. So the most dreaded disease, as we all know.
Sir, before you go in detail, मैं कुछ 2 लाइन कैंसर के बारे में बताना चाहता हूँ.
Please go ahead.
क्योंकि आज टीचर्स डे है और कैंसर आज के डेट में इंडिया ही नहीं बल्कि पूरे विश्व में एक ऐसी ये बीमारी है जिससे हर घर, हर परिवार किसी न किसी तरीके से ये इससे परेशान है. तो आज हमें आज के इस परिवेश में हमें एक ऐसे टीचर, एक ऐसे मार्गदर्शक, एक ऐसे गुरु की जरूरत है जो हमें गाइड कर सके, जो हमें मार्गदर्शन दे सके कि हमें कैंसर जैसे विशाल डिजीज, इतनी विशाल बीमारी है जो सिर्फ हेल्थ ही नहीं बल्कि ये हमारे इकोनॉमिक्स को भी डिसबैलेंस करता है. लाखों रुपया खर्च करके हम कैंसर का इलाज करते हैं, फिर भी हम असफल रहते हैं. ऐसे कितने सारे केसेस हमारे जानकारी में हैं. हजारों लाखों लोग कैंसर, उनसे जुड़े हुए परिवार लाखों में हैं. तो क्या हम ऐसा अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम कर सकते हैं? क्या हम लोगों को ये इंफॉर्मेशन दे सकते हैं? हम अपने समाज में बता सकते हैं कि हमें क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, जिससे हम कैंसर जैसे विशाल बीमारियों से बच सके. और अगर ये बीमारी हो भी गई तो हमें क्या उसका समाधान और कैसे समाधान ढूंढना है, उसका क्या तरीका है. तो आज इसी संदर्भ में हमारे बीच 2 ऐसे हमारे मार्गदर्शक हैं, प्रोफेसर बीसी दास सर, डॉक्टर सेल्वा मूर्ति सर. इन दोनों टीचर्स, मार्गदर्शक, गुरु का हमें मार्गदर्शन प्राप्त होगा आज, और हम इस मैसेज को समाज के हर एक व्यक्ति तक पहुंचाएं. मैं ये कार्यक्रम के थ्रू सभी लोगों से ये अपील करना चाहता हूं कि कैंसर एक ऐसी बीमारी है जो कि सही समय पे अगर इसका ट्रीटमेंट किया जाए, इलाज किया जाए तो आदमी क्योर हो सकता है. तो इसी संदर्भ में आगे हम जानेंगे प्रोफेसर बीसी दास सर से कि हम कैंसर से कैसे बचें, और अगर हो भी गया तो कैसे हम घबराएं नहीं, और इसका प्रॉपर ट्रीटमेंट के लिए क्या मैनेजमेंट है, हम घर से लेकर के हॉस्पिटल तक कैसे मैनेज कर सकते हैं, इसके बारे में हम जानेंगे. सर प्लीज.
Hey, thank you. So as we all know, as Dr. Dhruv has given in Hindi some introductory remarks, so the cancer is a dreaded disease, we know, because even it is treated, but then it relapses. There are a lot of problems, but then it is important that it is very costly and very dreaded disease. And once this disease happens, then it is highly costly and it is a lot of stress and lot of problems, and it's a lot of money expenditure is there. So most important is that how we can avoid this cancer or prevent this cancer. So 1/3 of this cancer can be prevented. 3/4 of the cancer can be prevented, not 1/3. 3/4 of the cancer can be prevented if we can know the symptoms early and if we take the precaution. And as you know, if detected early, the cancer can be cured. So many of the cancer can be cured. So this is most important to understand the how to prevent, how its early symptoms. So if you are vigilant, if we are vigilant, then we can easily get rid of this cancer. So so it is known that this cancer surpassed which is till date known, the cardiovascular disease is the most important killer or the highest killer. But of recently, now it has been seen that the cancer has become the highest killer. And if you see this graph, which is given the causes of the death in the world over, though it is 40% of the total of the diseases or the killer is the cardiovascular, but it differs from the different category of the society. If the rich countries, or which are now India is in that category, has been that India is in the rich category, so it has been recently been included. The cancer is the leading cause of death in the rich countries, whereas in the middle income countries it is almost similar. It is just catching up. And in the poor countries it is less. Cardiovascular is more, cancer is less. But this is one of the reasons in the middle income and the poor country that the detection is not done and the people are not educated or not aware of the things. It may be cancer that they are afraid of going to get it tested. So it is because of that the detection is not done. That's why it is showing that picture. But in the advanced country or the rich country, the detection, every time they go ahead for the US and Europe, they generally go for a detection and they can detect, and that's why it has now taken the almost double the last picture you have seen that it is double it is almost double as you see it is in 20 around, and it is in it is around 60 or it is 55, is that in the graph you can say percentage, the cancer is the leading cause of death. So next slide. So we see that the top medical journal, Lancet, and through its global survey and WHO also projected that by 2030, every second person around the world will suffer from one or the other cancer. So you can imagine that it is every second person will have the cancer. According to Globocan and WHO, India's cancer burden will be doubled in next 20 years. So we are now 2020 and 2021, and by 2040, that it will be doubled. And it indicates that the cancer will be epidemic in India, and which will be soon be the cancer capital of the world. We know that India has already become the diabetes capital of the world. Now, cancer is also going to be the cancer capital of the world. Next. So this is because of we are responsible for this thing. This is because of the uncontrolled pollution and rampant adulterations, contamination of the India's water, air, and land, affecting environmental health, plant health, and animal health. And these three, we cannot survive without these three things. The environment, plant, wherefrom we get our food and vegetables and all, and animal, we also get animal products for our food and all, which ultimately affect the human health. That is what has been shown in this picture. This plant health, environmental health, and animal health, they are affected by the radiation, chemical, pathogen, pesticides, smokes, and pollutions. All these things around, that is affecting our plant health and environmental health and animal health, and that affects our human health because we are dependent on the environment, plant, and animals. And so this is affected by all these the agents, and then it affects our human health. And that's how, in fact, what we eat and what we breathe and what we use in the daily life cause heavy exposure to the harmful chemicals, radiation, pesticide, and plasticizers, including radiation and pathogenic bacteria, viruses that not only cause many human diseases and cancer, but also affect plants and animals and environment in which we also survive. So next slide, what you see that there are infectious agents which cause cancer. I have listed some of the retroviruses, hepatitis B virus, C virus, E virus, the herpes virus, EBV, Epstein-Barr virus, HHV, and human papilloma virus that causes cervical cancer, and HIV and AIDS that cause Kaposi sarcoma, then Helicobacter pylori cause stomach cancer. Then there are protogen schistosoma, and there are two varieties of schistosoma can cause the stomach cancer instead of the Helicobacter pylori also cause stomach cancer, but the schistosoma and that they cause bladder cancer and colorectal carcinoma. So exposure to those carcinogen and pathogenic microbes, genotoxic chemicals, and ultimately cause mutation in the genes, or it's in our body cells. So genes are present in the chromosomes of the Gunosutra, present in these cells which are affected, the genes which carry the genetic characters, and which is responsible for the growth and uncontrolled division of the cells. The cancer, we understand it is uncontrolled, nothing but a uncontrolled division of the cells that grow uncontrollably and cause the tumor or the cancer, which go out of control. The next slide, you can see that cancer, that's why it is causes genetic disease, means there is a defects in the genes. So genes are affected by this environmental or all these pollution, chemicals and all these things can cause a mutation by chance. So everybody cannot get the cancer. But if someone gets exposure and if it causes this mutation or the alterations in the genes, which is responsible for the cells division, then these cells will grow out of control and that will cause the tumor. And so that's why we have to avoid this exposure to these chemicals and the environmental agents or the carcinogens. Carcinogens means those causes cancer, the agents those causes cancer. So besides that, there are about 20% of the cancer. Just now we have seen in the slide that are caused by the infectious agents. Next slide. So what is a cancer? So which I told it is all these exposure agents cause the alteration or the change in the genes. And these genes, generally we have normal genes, we are normal people, we take birth normal individual. Besides, there are around 5 to 10% of the cancer which are hereditary, which are inherited from the parents or the grandparents. So that is different. That is difficult to get rid of those cancer. So, but then mostly 90% of the cancers are sporadic cancer. Means it comes automatically because of your exposure and you ages. As you ages, this mutation or alterations in the genes, which are, you have all good genes. But if any by chance it is exposure to the radiation, chemicals and all these carcinogens, if it is changes or mutation, then it will cause the cancer. And this basis of, that's why basis of all this cancer is the defects in the gene or the DNA. So next slide. So common cancer sites in the human body. So you can see this picture. You may not see very clearly, but it is toe to hair. I can tell you toe to hair in the legs, toe to hair, everywhere the cancer can come. But there are major cancer which are mostly, you have the head and neck cancer, stomach cancer, breast cancer, liver cancer, and the gallbladder cancer, cervix cancer, genital cancer, so, and the lung cancer. So these are mainly head and neck, means the oral cancer. They are very common cancers. But anywhere it can come as a cancer can occur. So it is not that and the blood cancer and all. So you know many of these cancers, but it can occur any part of the body. So any part of the body, the cells can go wrong, any alteration occurs, and that can go, they can develop tumor. So therefore, creating, next slide, so creating awareness. So it is that it is all our normal cells, but if one cell gets changed, then it becomes that the blue color that has got changed, and then tumor rapidly grow and invade the cells, and the cancer cells can break through the membrane, and then it can get into the cancer cell, detaches from the tumor, and it can go spread to the other parts of the body through the blood circulation. Then it becomes metastasis, that it goes to the invasive stage. That time treatment is very difficult. You can treat it, but it will again reverse back to it will relapse. And that is why it is very difficult to get rid of the cancer. That if it once it goes to the late stages, then stage 3 or 4, then it is very difficult. But stage 1 and 2, if it is detected that early, then it can be cured even. So that's why creating awareness. Next slide. So it is important. The cancer is uncontrolled cell division or the cell proliferation that leads to the tumor formation. It means defect in the cell cycle or the cell divisions. So how it is, that is research is going on to understand that how the cells divisions can be controlled. So that there are several medicines which stops the cell division or cell proliferation, so that can control the cancer. So therefore it is important for the awareness, the creating awareness, and remain vigilant for any early signs or symptoms in the body, and that will lead to the early detection are important, and the keys for the better survival outcome or the prognosis. Because if you detect cancer early, then 99% cancer can be cured and well treated. And that is the most important and the important keys. That's why this awareness program or awareness very important to understand. It may be a scientist, or it may not be educated person, may not be even an illiterate person. They can easily understand why we should know what are the symptoms it comes, so that you can easily go to the doctor and seek your advice. And if he says that you go for a test, then you can go for a diagnosis and test. आप जांच करा सकते हैं, or you can easily be treated. So there is no afraidness. There is आपको कुछ डर के बात नहीं है, कोई शर्म की बात नहीं है. आपको जरूर जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि आपको ये जानना चाहिए कैंसर अगर पहले आपको पता लग गया तो आप बच सकते हैं. जिंदगी बचाना सबसे बड़ी चीज है. शर्म कोई नहीं है, कोई शर्म नहीं है. कैंसर कोई इन्फेक्शियस डिजीज नहीं है, तो किसी को बोलने में कोई शर्म नहीं है, किसी को भी हो सकता है. सो इसीलिए आपको जाना चाहिए इमीडिएटली. इफ यू नो कि देयर इज समथिंग रॉन्ग, यू आर नॉट फीलिंग, आई विल कम टू दैट. व्हाट आर द सिम्टम्स which you can prevent and which you can go immediately to the doctor and get your test done. आप जांच करा सकते हैं immediately. That is the best way to get rid of cancer. So in India and all developing countries, more than, इसीलिए इंडिया में and all other developing country, more than 70%, 70% का ऊपर कैंसर come to the clinic. OPD में जब आता है, डॉक्टर के पास जाता है, तब it is advanced stage in the majority of cancer, and likely that time if you have the treatment it will relapse and you are destined to die. Maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, but you have to die after maybe 15-20 years. You will die sometime because it has gone to the higher stages. So if you are in the first stages and the second stages, there is every possibility you can get rid of this cancer. It is not necessary. You should not think that cancer हो गया तो मरना ही है. No. If you detect early, you will be 100% cured. So what is this cancer? You should know what is the statistics now. that 1.91 million new cases in 2020. 2020, around 8 lakhs death occurs in the due to cancer every year. In the 1 out of 10 Indians will develop one or the other type of cancer in their lifetime. That is lifetime up to 70 years, 0 years to 70 years. 94.1% is the incidence per lakh for 100,000 males in males, whereas in females, 103.6 per 100,000 or the 1 lakh females. And Kerala has the highest incidence of the cancer, 135.3 per 1 lakh. And globally, Australia has the highest incidence, that is 300 per lakh incidence. So according to the ICMR cancer registry, 1,300 Indians die of cancer every day. So you can imagine in our 27, 29 states, it is 1,300 Indians are dying every day. So you can imagine per day how many people are dying. Most aggressive and the dangerous cancer are pancreatic cancer, only 3 to 4 months survival or the life expectancy after diagnosis. And the second is the lung cancer, 4 to 5 months only. Others can be 5 years or 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, depending on the stage it is detected. Next slide. So 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women develop cancer. Globally, the cancer looks it is going to be epidemic. And the breast cancer, 1 in 8 women is developing breast cancer. And it is recent data. I have not much time to describe this thing in detail, but in the very important to our startling study, first report published that, and which has become the highest published report in 10% of the highest publications in Poland in last one at the top journal, international journal, that in women before menopause, this is below 35 years age, when the women are young, there are 78% of the people develop triple negative breast cancer, which is the most aggressive cancer among all breast cancer types. So this is very alarming. And breast cancer, 8 women out of 1 woman out of 8 women, they develop cancer. But 78% of the cancer, breast cancer develops in the premenopausal stages, when the women are at the peak of their life. So that is generally in US and Europe, breast cancer occurs in the postmenopausal, after 50. But here in India, it's a very alarming thing. Why it is happening? There is a need for a lot of research, and one should be very careful. And 25 years onwards, one should be very careful for the self-breast examination. I will come to that. What are the precautionary measures to be taken? Reasons, chemical, food, smoking, and your lifestyle is responsible for all these things. Next slide. So the cancer is a leading cause of death worldwide, according to nearly 10 million deaths in 2020. 2020, it is more than 10 million deaths are recorded. The most common cancer, breast, 2.26 million cases, lung cancer, 2.21 million cases, colon cancer and rectum, 1.93 million cases, prostate, 1.41, skin, non-melanoma, it is 1.2 million, stomach, 1.09 million. So the most common cancers and cancer-related deaths in 2020 is lung cancer, colon cancer, liver cancer, stomach cancer, and breast cancer. This is the world picture. So you see that it is male and women, it is divided, the lip cancer. So many of the breast cancer is the top cancer in women. Then cervix was 10 years before, it was the top cancer. Now it is second. And then colorectal, ovary, and ovarian cancer has come. It is coming up. So there are some cancer which was not there 10 years before in India. I must say, because of the lifestyle changes, aping of the foreign style of lifestyle, American and European lifestyle that has changed food habit and sexual habits and all habits have led to the prostate cancer, breast cancer, and the colorectal cancer or the colon cancer. And these cancer have come up very high. It is coming very fast. So these cancer were 10 years before was very less, but now it is coming very high. So this is because of the change of the lifestyle. So now you can see our our population that almost 1.38 crores. So there you see that the number of new cases is, you can imagine that the 1 crore 32. 13 lakhs 24,000, and the number of deaths 8 lakhs 51,000, and then the number of prevalent cases are almost 27 lakhs 20,000. So this is the picture. Next slide. So this is just distribution in the both all sexes, means male and female. Breast is the top, other cancer as the maximum, but breast in women is the highest. Then the oral cancer or the lip cancer, cervix cancer, then lung cancer, then colorectal cancer. This is in the both sexes. If you go to the males, it is the oral cancer in highest in India, and then comes lung cancer, then stomach, colorectal, and esophagus. Next is also in the women is the breast is the major, then the cervix, and then ovarian cancer. So one has to be, and other cancer are less. So breast, why it is coming? It is also important to note that in the city area, the breast cancer is highest. But in the villages, still it is less. But it is still there, but less. So next slide. So, and this is the most common and the types of tumors that you come across, that common names you should know. When you go to the hospital, they give the names. The doctors say that he is suffering from adenoma or blastoma or neuroblastoma or cervical carcinoma. So what is it, carcinoma or adenoma? So the terminology to understand, adenoma is a cancer of the gland-like tissues. So adenocarcinoma. So adenocarcinoma or gland-like carcinoma is really has a bad prognosis. If it is called cervical carcinoma, it is fine. It will have some treatment options. But adenocarcinoma lungs, adenocarcinoma of the pancreas, so these cancers are very tough cancers, aggressive cancer. Blastoma, cancer of the germ cells or precursor cells like neuroblastoma and all names. Carcinoma is mostly carcinoma which is originary epithelial cells. The name is given from the cells from where it is originated, cells or tissue from where it is originated. So majority cancers are carcinoma or cancer of the epithelial or connective tissues. So cervical carcinoma, breast carcinoma, and oral carcinoma. So like that. So hepatoma, so the liver cells. So the cancer of the liver. Leukemia is the blood cells. The cancer of the leukocytes, white blood cells. The lymphoma is the lymphoid tissue or the lymphatic organs. So cancer of the lymphoid, lymphoma. So melanoma is the skin cancer. So melanoma, and myeloma is the bone marrow, connective tissues, the cancer of the bone marrow. Myoma is the cancer of the muscle. Sarcoma is the connective tissues, bone, cartilage, muscles. So that is called sarcoma. Mesothelioma, it's very, very difficult cancer. It is the space between your body and the lungs. There is a space, lungs and body cavity. So that is the space. If the cancer develops, that cancer is no access. It is very difficult to treat. That is the cancer called cancer body cavity surrounding the lungs. So body cavity and lungs, in between body cavity and lungs. So this is mesothelioma. And adenocarcinoma, cancer of the gland. So this is, I told, adenoma or adenocarcinoma. So gland-like tissue, generally fibroadenoma is developed in women, those girls and young girls or women who are healthy or fatty or obese, they generally develop fibroadenoma of the breast. So that is not cancer. That is the benign tumor. So cancer is two types of cancer. One is benign tumors, which grows some extent and then it stops. It doesn't grow indefinitely. But cancer or which is called tumor or the malignant tumor or cancer, they are the alternative names. They grow indefinitely without any control. So there is a difference. Both can be called as tumor. One is benign tumor, which has a limited growth. It grows and then stops. Then you should not bother. But you should observe whether this lump or growth is growing every day or it is within a month it stops. If it doesn't stop, then you should visit the doctor. Next slide. So the classification of the cancer can be classified types based on the where it begins, which I just now told. Four main types of carcinomas, as I told. There are the basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma. Again, within carcinoma, there are divisions. Renal cell carcinoma, ductal carcinoma in breast cancers. It develops from the ducts, the milk ducts, and the invasive ductal carcinoma and adenocarcinoma. Next slide. So the basal cell carcinoma, this is generally, this is most common form of the cancer, occurs in the cell lining, the first part of the body or the skin's outer layer. The basal cell carcinoma often look like open sores and sores or the red patches or the pink growths or shiny bumps or scars. Next slide. The squamous cell carcinoma, most people think the skin cancer, squamous cell carcinoma in the cervix, breast, the certain organs, digestive tract, respiratory tracts. Next slide. So this is also squamous cell carcinoma is in the face, ear or head and neck cancer and the lips and the back of the head. So squamous cell carcinoma develops in the skin also and spreading too much time in the sun that leads to the skin cancer. Next slide. That is very rare in India. Renal cell carcinoma, that is the kidney cancer, so grows as a single tumor within the kidney, and renal cell carcinoma is also a bad cancer, and that can be done by ultrasound, CT scan can be detected. Next slide. So you should follow if there is a change in the urination pattern or blood in the urine or not. So ductal carcinoma, it is in the breast. Generally, breast is made up of all the milk ducts. There is a condition where cancer cells are found to inside the ducts of the breast, but the ductal carcinoma is the cancer has not fully developed, spread into the nearby areas. Nearly all women diagnosed with this type of cancer and very difficult to cure. Next slide. So adenocarcinoma, this is a type of, I have just told that the carcinoma which is very difficult cancer, which is glandular cells, and this takes nucleus and other fluids are accumulated there. And adenocarcinoma can occur in different parts of the body, and these are like colorectal types and pancreatic adenocarcinoma and cervical adenocarcinoma. So they are generally have a bad prognosis. Next slide. So sarcomas are the all that these are connective tissues that support connect the body, and sarcoma develops in the muscles, nerves, and the tendons and the joints, blood vessels, lymph nodes, lymph vessels, and the cartilage and bone. Next. So leukemias, you know, it is blood cancer. So there are varieties types of leukemias, acute leukemia, and there is a chronic leukemia, and this ALL and AML and CML. So there are variety of leukemia. It is not just blood cancer. So generally CML, chronic myeloid leukemia, is well treated now, but then the chronic the AL and AML is very difficult blood cancer. Next. So the common cancer are the blood cancer, breast cancer, colorectal cancer, kidney cancer, lung cancer, non-small cell and the small cell lung cancer, lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and Hodgkin's lymphoma are there. Melanoma, oral and esophageal, oropharyngeal cancer, pancreatic cancer, which is a very dangerous cancer, prostate cancer, thyroid cancer. Only good thing prostate cancer is slow growing cancer, and one should have some time to detect that cancer. And cervix cancer is also written. Cervix cancer takes 10 to 20 years to develop. There are a lot of signal before that, so this cancer can be easily detected and cured. And same is the oral cancer, so which is visible. And if there is a white patch or a lesion, one should immediately visit the doctors, and it can be easily seen under a mirror and all. And if you have some pain then you find something white patches not curing within a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, then you should visit doctor. Then there is a thyroid cancers. So these are common cancer. So what is the risk? The cancer risk can be reduced by what procedure? So this is very important, that how to get rid of this. What is the risk? What can be risk? One can take the initiative to reduce it or to get rid of it. Not using tobacco. So tobacco has to be completely prohibited, because tobacco, any form of tobacco, chewing tobacco, smoking tobacco, the bidi, cigarette, anything. In India, it is very rampant, but this is the source of all cancer, the head and neck cancer, and also the heart disease. So why to take that risk? So it is up to you. What your government has taken a lot of initiative. So not using tobacco. So stop tobacco, and also the alcohol along with that. Maintaining but I will not say complete stop alcohol, but you can have alcohol in a moderate level, but certainly no tobacco. Maintaining a healthy body weight. So sudden weight loss or weight increase, one should be careful. Eating a healthy diet, including fruits and vegetables, doing physical activity, exercises on a regular basis, avoiding harmful use of alcohol, means moderate level of alcohol, and good source of alcohol, not here and there. So they are all contaminated and spurious alcohol. Getting vaccinated against HPV, vaccine is there. One of the cancer, cervix cancer, the vaccine is there, where already Dhruv has said, I have had a lot of contribution in that to start the vaccination program in India through Government of India when I was director of ICM or Cancer Institute. And so vaccination is recommended. And so hepatitis B vaccination is also available very cheap, and avoiding ultraviolet radiations. Then ensuring safe and appropriate use of radiation in healthcare, likely that diagnostic and therapeutic purposes like CT scan and MRI and all these PET scan, you should not do again and again when you are normal. But if you are with the cancer, that time also one should be very careful that radiation cure cancer, but radiation itself can cause cancer also. So it has a dual activity. So that's why one should be very careful. Ensuring safe and appropriate use of radiation, minimizing occupational exposure to anything radiation, where the attendant in the radiotherapy unit, the attendant or the technician in the radiotherapy unit, they should take care that they are not exposed to radiation. Reducing exposure to outdoor air pollution and indoor air pollution, including radon and the radioactive gas produced from the natural decay of uranium and accumulate in the building and the homes and many other and schools and in your workplace. Next slide. So how to test? If you have something, then you should go for a diagnostic test. So how to cancer is diagnosed? So lab test, you should go to the doctor. They will recommend what test to be done. Imaging procedure, there radiation is involved. you should not do again and again radiation exposure. The biopsy, generally doctor will take the biopsy or urine test or a blood test, then questionnaires. So some clinical details they will ask, and then the physical examination will be done. Next slide. So these are common things, you know. Lab test, laboratory test is procedure where simple blood test, urine or other body fluids, tissue, and the biopsy tissue is taken, and the histopathology is done, and their specialists there, they are examined and they test and they give the report. High or low levels of certain substances in the body, that gives the sign of the what is that. For example, prostate cancer, if it is someone, it doesn't happen in the lower age, it is 50 years and above. If it is there is a urination problem and there is no urination is going on, that means your prostate has enlarged. It is enlarged, maybe it is called BPH, benign prostate the enlargement. So in that hyperplasia. So that doesn't mean that it is cancer, but your PSA may be prostate specific antigen may be high. It is limits to be 4.5 to 5. But if it is goes beyond 5, that means it is some infection, or you may develop, and if it is gone 20, 25 or 30 or 40, it means you are likely to have the prostate cancer. So one should be very careful in that when there is a, as I told in the beginning, that if there is a urination symptoms, that your urine is not passing normally, it is a difficulty to pass urine, or there is a blood in the urine, that may be a kidney cancer indication. So these things, or it may be due to simple infection also, the UTI, urinary tract infection. So high or low levels of certain substances in the body will give that signature that why it is, whether you have a cancer or not. But just not immediately that, there are a lot of other studies need to be done before you are established to have a cancer. Next. There are imaging techniques also. There are several imaging, CT and PET-CT and all. So imaging procedure, different forms of energy, such as X-rays are taken help of the X-ray radiation, ultrasound, and the radio waves and radioactive substances are used, injected in the body, and they generally help in diagnosis. For example, imaging procedures and their CT, computed tomography. So CT, ultrasonography, and the magnetic resonance, MR, resonance imaging, MRI. So nuclear medicine tests, all these tests are done. Next. Here is the emerging procedure. The MRI is been done for the brain, and it is a brain portion. It is detected. The round picture is given. It is the showing that there is a cancer in the brain. So brain cancer is a very difficult cancer to get rid of. So this is a, so it is, you have to be careful that if there is a persistent pain in the brain, that intolerable pain and localized pain, sometimes it can spread to other parts of the brain, but some localized pain has to be any part of the body, one should be careful. Next slide. So it is the PET-CT, which is very common, that once you are detected in the cancer, some places in your mouth or in your breast, but it is important to see whether it has gone to third or fourth stage, or it has gone to metastasize, distributed to the, or gone to the other parts of the body, the vital organs, like liver, like lungs, liver, bone, it has gone or not. So that is to say that these are the pictures which are yellow and red. That is the picture it is showing that these are the place where the cancer has gone. So this is detected because of the, that is because of the paucity of time. I will not be able to discuss the PET-CT. So the cancer cells generally deprived of the sugar. So that's why sugar should be less. The eating sugar is very good for the body, for the diabetes, also for the cancer. So generally sugar is leveled with the radioactivity and injected in the body, and after some time, 2-3 hours, this is imaging is taken, and wherever there is a sugar has gone, taken by the, and that will be taken by the cancer cells which are not having, they take a lot of sugars, so they are deficient in sugar. So they, whenever there is sugar available, they will take the sugar, and sugar is already level with the F18, that the fluorescence, the radioactive. So that radioactive will show the black color in general in the X-ray film. But if you have the color like this, you will find that these are the places where the cancer has gone. So that's why the doctors generally see that whether it has spread to the other parts of the body or not. Then if it is gone to the other parts of the body, then they don't do the operation or the surgery. They may do the surgery to reduce the volume of the tumor, but they immediately go for the chemotherapy or radiotherapy, depending on the things. But these different body parts, then they will go for the chemotherapy. So early symptoms of the cancer is that change in the bowel habit, means your motion is clear or not. If it is a constipation, that is also a source for the continuous constipation for a 6 months or a year, then that may lead to your colon cancer. So that needs to be very careful, and if it is that, one should go to the doctor. They will suggest medicine which can be taken to make your motion easy motion. So such as diarrhea, constipation, or narrowing of the stool, and the last for not more than few days or few months, that has to be taken care of. Then rectal bleeding, if there is a bleeding in the rectal with the stool, then the dark stool, if it is dark stool, then you have to also to be careful, which is the normal color, it is not that coming, it is very dark, then you should be very careful that there is a blood must be in the stool. So that dark stool, that can be occult blood, it is called occult blood test, that can be done and given to any diagnostic clinic. And then cramming or abdominal pain, but you need to see if it is a localized pain, and cramming may be because of something, amoebiasis and anything, but if it is continued for long times, then you should go to the doctor. Weight loss, exceptional weight loss or weight gain also, fatigue, lack of energy, so then new back pain, anything which is not there, suddenly back pain is there in a particular place, general pain, or on any part of the breast, if it is paining, or the nipples, or any part of the breast is, or is there is discharge, any type of discharge, when there is already the family is done, but if it is 40-45 years old lady, if there is a bleeding or any type of there is cannot milk come that time, so any type of automatic secretions from the nipples, one should be very nipple discharge, and general pain or on any part of the breast, and irritated or itchy breast, and the change in the breast color, size, shape, and the untouched pain. So peeling and the flaking of the nipple skin and all these things, vaginal bleeding, or there is a foul odor, and the unusual vaginal discharge and odor, and the pelvic pain. So these are symptoms, and one should not take it as just as he ho raha hai. No, you should observe for 2-3 days, and then you should go to the doctor, not immediately, but just suddenly see 24 hours, 2-3 days, observe, even a week, and then if it persists, then you should go. But 1 or 2 days it happens, it stops, and then you should be vigilant. If it repeats, then you should go immediately to the doctors, the respective doctors. Then the recommended screening test, the lung cancer, the preventive measures, the task force, so that recommends that the yearly lung cancer screening, where the so that tomography, so that CT and all. So that one can do if you have some symptoms, some doubt. So you should go for that. Colorectal cancer, there is all types of things, and I will not go into the detail of this. This is all described here, but that is, you go to the doctor, they will suggest. Breast cancer also mammograms and all types of physical examination. But 25 years onwards, it is very importantly, one should remember to do the self-breast examinations. So SAE, self-SBE, self-breast examination. So SBE, so that is very popular, that when you go to the bathroom during bathing, you take the, apply soaps and take the, you go to the net, everything is available in the net. I am not showing it here, not giving the picture. You go to the breast self-examination, just type it in the net and in Google, you will get that, how to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps are there. So you can follow that. And that is, you should practice every month, 25 years onwards. So it is very important. So you will, if you find there is some feeling that it is not normal, it is showing some, you can say Hindi mein gaat, or some lumps you are feeling, something is touching your finger, that it is some gaat or something, then you should immediately go to the gynecologist or a doctor to examine and do the FNSC, fine needle aspiration cytology. They will just put a needle, nothing, operation, anything, and they will take the simple in the solution, the normal saline solution, they will take some cells from there and they will see under microscope, it is called FNSC, and they will find whether there is any cancer cells or not. If that, then you can easily do the early detection. So in that case, you are very early and you will be 100% cured of that cancer or the breast cancer. Cervical cancer also, it takes 10 to 20 years to develop this cancer. So there is lot of opportunity, the symptoms, the discharge and bleeding, irregular menstruations, and then pap smear test is there. If there is not, then if you have still problem, you go for HPV, human papillomavirus detection. So there is very clear-cut system or the diagnostic procedures are available. So you can do that. And the screening test, breast cancer mammography, clinical breast examination, breast self-examination, BSc, and then magnetic resonance, MRI. So this is what is not detected, then you can go MRI. Cervix cancer, human papillomavirus detection, generally done by pap test. Some smear will be taken and they will see. But there is also, as Dr. Dhruv mentioned, I have given several techniques to early detection from the home. You can send the urine. Urine can be tested by the molecular methods, and that can be sent from home. You can collect urine, send the clinic, and they can test the HPV. If it is HPV 16 highly expressed there, present there, that means there is a chances of not immediately cancer, but it may develop to cancer. But you have to then go to the doctor to do the cytology and immunohistochemistry to see that whether you have any cells in the smear, the cancer cells are there or not. And there it will say the mild dysplasia or moderate dysplasia or severe dysplasia or carcinoma in situ or early cancer, where you are, they will say it by pap test. So this cancer is easily preventable, and India, because of some reasons, it has not been popularized, and because of the ICMR has banned it. The case is still there in the court, but privately and private hospitals and Delhi government and the Punjab government has introduced this vaccine program, HPV vaccine program, because of some unusual death of the 5-6 girls in long back, in 10 years back, when we introduced this vaccine in India. But because of immunogenicity testing that time, some unnatural death has occurred, but that has been blamed because of HPV vaccine. But that is not, and there is 130 countries has taken this HPV vaccine, except India, where it is not become a national vaccination program, but it is going in parts. But I suggest and recommend everybody, all the young girls in the adolescence period must be vaccinated by the HPV vaccine. There are two vaccines available, Gardasil and Cervarix. So you can find out where they are available. So Gardasil is for HPV 16, 18 and 6 and 11 and 16, 18 in the Cervarix. Any vaccine can be better is the Gardasil. You have other vaccines so that you are protected from the developing warts, genital warts and others. And so it is better to take these vaccines. So they are available, amply available and very cheap. So next slide. So this vaccine is given to the adolescence period. So it can be given after testing up to 45 years if there is no HPV infection also. So infection of inflammation causes cervical cancer. It is well established now that this virus, as you know, we are now very much well aware of virus, the COVID-19 now, which is a havoc, has caused havoc, and it is a dangerous virus and which can be a simple virus, microbes, which cannot be seen in the naked eye, can destroy whole world. It is more powerful than atomic energy or atom bomb. So this virus also, this is a DNA virus. It can cause, it is now well proved, and for that the Nobel Prize was gone to my guru, which next slide will show you that it has been Professor Harald Juhausen, left side, and I am with him in 1986 when I joined his lab in Heidelberg, Germany, West Germany, in 1986 June, and he got the Nobel Prize in 2008 when I back home, when I was director in ICMR Institute, Cancer Institute in Noida. So, but then he worked and I had worked for more than a decade with him, and with the samples from India, lot of cervix cancer samples I worked long time, and that has ultimately culminated in the award of the Nobel Prize to him, because he established that HPV is the cause of cervical cancer. He shared the Nobel Prize with the also the Montagnier, Luc Montagnier, who got the Nobel Prize same time for the HIV, causing the HIV 1 and 2, causing the AIDS, the immunodeficient disease. So that the year 2008, he got the Nobel Prize for cervix cancer that HPV can cause as a causative agent for cervical cancer. Next slide. So there is these vaccines which I told is the prophylactic or the protective vaccine, but there is no therapeutic vaccine yet, but that is being developed. We have developed the construct and it is under clinical trial. But there are many other people in the world over, they are developing the therapeutic vaccine for the HPV and cervical cancer. Next slide. So colorectal cancer, no, this next slide you can go. So lung cancer, so you can go. Most common 14 signs or symptoms of the cancer. Change in bowel and the bladder urine habit, cough and hoarseness, which does not go away for months, sore in throat that does not heal. These are the common symptoms. Please carefully look at that. Then unusual bleeding or discharge from genital organs or breast nipples, thickening of the lumps in the breast or elsewhere in the body, continued indigestion and or difficulty in swallowing, sudden growth or change in what or mole or swelling or lump in any part of the body, fatigue, extreme tiredness which persists for weeks or longer, exceptional weight loss or weight gain also, not feeling hungry or loss of appetite for quite some time, localized pain in bone head or stomach, and change in skin texture or color, whitish patch or lesions in the tongue or mouth which does not heal, night sweating and fever. These are the 14 essential signs or symptoms of the cancer, of different cancers. So one should be very careful for, besides that, anything, any odd you find, you can report to the doctor. Now the question is how to control and prevent the cancer. There is a need for nationwide, there are 2 to 3 things are important to remember. There is a need for nationwide movement to eliminate the preventable cancer causes of the cancer. So what is the preventable causes? Like example is smoking. So what are the preventable causes that we can prevent? That are the reasons which leads to the cancer. Like smallpox and polio, which is possible to eradicate cervical cancer in human if it is now the global trial is going on and global attempt is in place. The WHO and all other organizations or cancer organization is trying that if they have proposed this by this century end, that if 80 to 100% implementation of the 2 primary prevention strategies are implemented, that is, one is early screening and detection of cervical cancer and HPV vaccination. If it is given in coverage of 80 to 100%, sorry, then it is possible to get rid of the cervical cancer, which is 10 years before, it is the topmost cancer. It is now the second highly prevalent cancer in women. In the village side, it is still in the countryside, our countryside, it is the number 1 cancer, where breast cancer is number 2. But in city, the breast cancer is number 1. To prevent cancer, the action points are creating national movement to prevent or control all cancers. So whatever to be done, there should be a national movement and there should be a political will to be created. Increase prevention from 2%, it is now 2% only prevention attempts, to more than 50% of prevention. Increased funding and induced or inculcate political will. If there is no political will, if there is no attempts from the government, then it is not possible to achieve this control of cancer, prevent the cancer. Eradicate environmental and workplace exposure to carcinogens and mutagens. Empower people to follow regulations and take action against adulteration, indiscriminate use of pesticides, etc., all these agents, chemicals in food and other daily life material or lifestyle material which we use in our daily life in the house or in our food and all. So 10 tips to prevent cancer here. Do not smoke, use tobacco or do not use tobacco or betel nuts, etc., and have moderate drinking habits. Eat well, adulteration of pesticides-free organic food, have practice of regular physical exercise, use safe and simple cleaning products at home, avoid plastics, use glass or stainless steels because plastics releases or it releases lot of the plasticizers that is bad for the foodstuffs. So it is very, we have been using lot of plastic stuff for the microwaving and all, that is not good. One should use the either glass or stainless steel materials or utensils. Have regular habit of walking, cycling, etc. Avoid unnecessary radiation exposures, even in diagnostic radiations, MRI and all these and PET CT. Choose healthy decorating and furnishing materials at home, use non-toxic stuff at home, have safe, clean and green earth habit. Next slide. So ultimately, what is the take-home message is that we have learned a lot and what is the symptom and prevention and all. It is important just not learning, but to practice it. And it is easy to practice, but not easy, but difficult. One has to follow these things very rigorously to avoid this. And prevention is better than cure, we all know. So, because once this is cancer, then you can understand what is people, anybody develops that, whole, not the person, whole family is half dead. So, prevention is easy and it is better than cure. It is highly expensive if there is a cancer and lot of stress and all. So detect cancer early and save life. If you can detect cancer early, all cancer can be curable and detected. This example is the hero or the cricketer. So that what is the name?
Yuvraj Singh.
Yuvraj Singh. That he detected cancer, even the most dangerous lung cancer, he detected early and he is safe now. So this is the early detection, the result of early detection. We need to work together. That is important. Work together to end this epidemic and conquer cancer. We have to declare war against cancer. So then only we can control cancer and get rid of cancer. Thank you very much for your attention. Next slide. I think it is. Thanks.
Sir, thank you so much for enlightening us, giving us basics information about cancer, how cancer can be prevented, how cancer can be diagnosed in early stage. Cancer can be treated well if it is identified, if it is diagnosed early. There are treatments available. It's not that every cancer patients they die, and as you have very well said that Yuvraj Singh, there are several other cancer survivors, even in film industry. Manisha Koirala, Sanjay Dutt, recently he got recovered. So like that, there are several examples, but how they got recovered? Because they got treated well, their disease got identified, diagnosed in early stage. So there are several success stories of cancer survivors. Now, the last 3 points, sir, that you have mentioned, those are very, very important points. अभी जो इस समाज में चल रहा है, हमें मिलकर कैंसर प्रिवेंशन, कैंसर के ऊपर काम करना चाहिए। समाज में ऐसे कई सारे लोग हैं जिनको पता भी नहीं है कि हम कैसे कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं। हम मंदिर जाते हैं, मस्जिद जाते हैं, गुरुद्वारा जाते हैं, वहां डोनेट करते हैं, लेकिन कभी हम ये नहीं सोचते कि हम रिसर्च के लिए भी डोनेट करें। जो थेरेपी जो आज हमारे लिए अवेलेबल है कैंसर में या कोई भी, वो कहाँ से आता है? रिसर्च से आता है। तो लोग डोनेशन तो करते हैं, लेकिन अगर रिसर्च के लिए भी वो आगे बढ़ के डोनेट करे, ऐसे रिसर्च लैब को वो फंड करे जो कैंसर थेरेपी पे काम कर रहा हो। जैसे अमेरिका में ऐसे कई सारे लैब्स हैं जो कि प्राइवेट फंडिंग उनको मिलता है। जब मैं अमेरिका में था, मेरे लैब को भी प्राइवेट फंडिंग मिला था काम करने के। उसी तरह से अगर अमेरिका में, इंडिया में अगर समाज साथ में आए और सरकार साथ में आए, समाज, सरकार, साइंटिस्ट, जितने क्लिनिशियन है, साथ मिलकर के अगर कैंसर अवेयरनेस, रिसर्च, इस पे अगर हम काम करें, तो मेरा मानना है, मेरा विश्वास है कि आने वाले 5 सालों में, 10 सालों में जो प्रोजेक्शन है WHO का कि हर दूसरा व्यक्ति कैंसर से ग्रसित होगा, शायद हम उसको रोक सकते हैं। अगर हम साथ मिलकर के काम करें। तो ये बहुत बड़ा एक मैसेज सर आपके लेक्चर से, आपने जो एक जनरल लेक्चर जो आप दिए हैं, और एक साधारण जनमानस को किस तरीके से वो समझ सकता है इस लेक्चर से कि कैसे कैंसर को प्रिवेंट किया जाए, रोका जाए, और अगर हो भी गया तो उसको हम कैसे अर्ली डिटेक्शन करके उसका इलाज, जो प्रॉपर इलाज है, जो प्रॉपर ट्रीटमेंट है, उसको हम कर सकते हैं। इससे हम अपने आप को ही नहीं, समाज में जो डिसबैलेंस है, जो इकोनॉमिक डिसबैलेंस है, जो इकोनॉमिक बर्डन है, उसको भी हम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। डॉक्टर सेल्वा मूर्ति सर,
If he is there, then he can comment.
Sir, if you are, yeah,
Yes.
so sir is here, and Dr. Selva Murthy sir बहुत ही एग्रेसिव और एक्सटेंसिव रिसर्च किए हैं योगा में, और सर का योगा में कई सारे रिसर्च पेपर्स है जो कि कैंसर पेशेंट को योगा कैसे हेल्प कर सकता है, नेचुरल मेडिटेशन, नेचुरल थेरेपी, वो कैसे हेल्प कर सकता है। सर आपका इस पे व्यूज ऑडियंस के लिए काफी हेल्पफुल रहेगा।
See, I was coordinating a very important, interesting research on cancer, breast cancer. You know, the psychoneuroimmunological axis. Once a lady comes to know that she has breast cancer and she gets a mastectomy done, total removal of breast, and then undergoes chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and people, you know, you can imagine the perceived stress of such a patient. Just imagine the level of, you put yourself in that lady who develops this. Tremendous for a lady losing a breast and also undergoing this kind of chemo, radio. It's a big problem. So this is perceived stress of the patient. Now she's not alone with the spouse. Now the stress on the spouse, who is going to be with the wife, you know, spouse. Then the caregivers, the family, everything gets affected. So what we did, we took the whole system. We took 60 patients, then 60 spouses, and 60 caregivers. So as a system, we took these patients, measured the perceived stress by psychological method. You can assess the stress level quantitatively. Then we looked at the neurohumoral axis. We measured catecholamine, cortisol, adrenaline, noradrenaline, cortisol. All this will indicate the sympathoadrenal axis because of the stress, perceived stress. Then we looked at the immune system, CD4, CD8, NK cell, PHA activity. All this will indicate the immune system. So then we looked at the coping strategy. Each patient has got its own coping methods, some avoidance, some owning the responsibility. So like that, there are methods, some adapt to meditation. So when you looked at the coping mechanisms, then we did a multivariate analysis. Which one correlates with the progression of the disease or prognosis of the disease? So we did a very interesting study, and where the final message I'll give you, if you give only this therapy which treats the body, you cannot treat completely the patient. So you need to always have psychotherapy, counseling, meditation, the social support coming from the family. All this is important. So you are just giving chemotherapy, radiotherapy, surgical removal is not only going to help the patient survival and the quality of life. So the message I want to give on this day is, once a patient is detected cancer, whichever type of cancer, that you should show empathy, compassion, love. Don't discriminate. Don't start crying with them. You motivate them. This is all incurable, and you will live long. So many cases where there is a longevity is much higher. Don't say that, no, that patient died in 1 year, that patient died in 6 months. Instead, you see that patient lived 15 years after detecting cancer. So when you say that, then that goes up. So you can do, every one of you can contribute to this patient, their welfare, well-being. This is what Dr. Das presented. when I looked at it, how do you detect early breast? You feel yourself. And so early detection is the key for your prognosis and the lifespan going up after diagnosis. So that is one message he gave. And he also gave that how we can prevent. Why should you go for the disease? Chemo prevention of the disease, or even food. What type of food, like haldi, is which he himself is working on that, and the spices which we take in our diet. It's all the prophylactic against the cancer occurrence itself. Antioxidants, fresh vegetables, all this if you take, you can prevent cancer. So first is prevention, that is important. After prevention, then if it happens, early detection, then the right kind of continued therapy, finally the psychological support. If you give this, that patient will be cured. And that is the message I want to give on this lecture. Dr. Das, as usual, he has loaded with so much of information from his own studies, which he has done for 4 decades, and also the studies available in the literature. So he has given you a whole package on this Teachers' Day. Thank you, Dr. Das. We were all listening to you as students in your field, cancer, and we are proud to have listened to such a great teacher on the occasion of a Teachers' Day. God will bless you with long life, happiness, peace, prosperity, and all good things in life for you. And our prayers for you as a great teacher, and for all the participants on a Sunday, people sitting there all through this, from in the evening, which you would have spent with the families. But this is what shows your dedication to serve the society, particularly take care of the cancer patients. So God bless you all for this, attending this on this very important day. And compliments to you, Dr. Professor Das, for this wonderful webinar. As usual, completely informative, wonderful contents, the way you delivered, amazing. And Dr. Dhruv, as usual in Hindi, you are so fluent, as fluent as in English, that you can reach the heart and minds of the people with Hindi. Some of them may not be that, proficient in English language, which is foreign language. So, but you convey both in English as well as in Hindi. Very good. God bless you, Dhruv, and you are a great scientist. We have tremendous expectations from you. In Bhatnagar Award, we expect you, like Nobel Prize for him. I will start with you, Bhatnagar Award. These are all possible, and only thing, you have to work for it. Thank you. And with this, happy Teachers' Day once again to each and every.
Teachers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you so much.
Your kind permission. And I would like to thank, before we close this session, I would like to thank all the panel members, Dr. Selvamoorthy sir, and their speakers, Professor B.C. Das sir, and all the participants, those who have participated today in this cancer awareness program. IT support, Mr. Puneet, who has provided this IT support, and all the Amity management, those who have provided this platform to organize this cancer awareness, one of the most important awareness program. And I hope the participants must have learned, and they must circulate this information in their family, in their society, so that from 1 to 100 and 100 to 1,000 and 1,000 to millions, people get aware about the cancer. So our goal should be in next 5 years to reduce the risk of cancer at least by 25%, by circulating information like this, by talking on a public platform about the cancer awareness. So with this, with the permission of Professor B.C. Das sir, Dr. Selvamoorthy sir, may I kindly request IT team to close this session.